Hello children, welcome to today's English class. Hope you are safe, healthy and happy at home, and a lot of learning is going on these days and you are trying to utilize your time in the best possible manner. In the previous class, we had learned how to write descriptive paragraphs. We'll try to quickly look at whatever we have done in the last class, and we had also described place Taj Mahal in the last class, and I had asked you to write a description in the same manner of the historical place in our islands. For example, the cellular jail, the Ross Island or the Balidan Vedi, etc. I hope you might have tried to write this descriptive paragraph, as many of you might have visited these places and have ideas of what the place is exactly like and also its historical importance. So let's quickly look at what is a descriptive paragraph that we had discussed in the last class. Descriptive paragraph means describing a person, place or an event in detail. Okay, this is what we had learnt in the previous class. When you describe a person, you talk about his appearance, physical appearance, his qualities and also his achievements. And mostly you are asked to describe famous personalities, great leaders, and in different fields, for example, maybe in the field of sports. Place, as we did in the last time, it could be any historical place, it could be a hill station, it could be any place of tourist interest which you have visited. Even if you have not visited, you should have idea of these important places, because you could be asked to write about any of these places in your examination. Event. Event could be any event that occurred in your school, it could be in your family, it could be on the way to school, you have observed anything, any happy occasion or any sad moments, any event you could be asked to describe. But most of the time you are asked to describe events that occurred in your school. For example, the celebration of national festivals or any of the days. For example, it could be National Sports Day, it could be blood donation camp, it could be Swachh Bharat Abhiyan campaign. So you even actively participate in all the functions or events being organized in the school. So you will be able to describe it in a better manner. So these are the things which we did and try to understand in the last class. In the last class, we described a place, that was the Taj Mahal. And I would request you to practice describing different places in our own islands and also in India, the places of historical importance and the places of tourist interest. Today we will learn to describe a person. While we are describing a person, what are the points we should remember? What type of question would be asked? What type of clues you will be getting in the question paper? Let's try to look at a sample paragraph which describes a person. Now, let's look at this question. Based on the visual and verbal clues given below, write a descriptive paragraph in about 150 to 200 words on Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. You all are familiar with this famous personality, okay, who was the President of India and a great scientist. So let's look at the clues given there. Visual, the picture of Dr. Abdul Kalam is given there, and below the picture you have some more clues. related to his personality. Born 15th October 1931. Place of birth Dhanushkodi, Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu. Education St. Joseph's College, Tiruchirappalli, Bachelor's in Engineering. Madras Institute of Technology, Masters in Engineering. Profession Aerospace Scientist, Author. Awards Bharat Ratna, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, Hoover Medal, Ramanujam Award, etc. Died 27th July 2015, Shillong. So these clues which have been given here in the table form could also be in other forms also. Maybe below the pictures you are getting maybe 2 or 3 lines only about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, or any other personality you are asked to describe. Dear children, these type of questions you might have done in class 8, short biographies of great leaders and great personalities. So this is more or less the same way you have to describe the person. So based on the visual clue and the verbal clues which were given there below the visual clue, now we'll try to write the paragraph and try to describe Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Children, since you are very familiar with this leader, because he loved children very much, he loved the youth very much, and he had lots of hopes from them, and he did not miss any opportunity to interact with school students. He had visited our islands also and had interacted with many students. So you might remember all these things in your mind, and you are also familiar about his great achievements as a scientist and also as the President of India. So many times it happens that you know more than the clues that have been given to you. So you can use all those knowledge to describe the personality given in the question. Though it's very difficult to describe the personality of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam in 150 to 200 words, isn't it? But because we have been asked to describe him in only 150 to 200 words, so we will try to limit ourselves to the word limit and mention only his main achievements and some of his qualities. Though it is very difficult, but we must practice doing so, mentioning only their achievements and some of their qualities and some of their contribution. Now let's look at the paragraph. Abul Pakir Jainulabdin Abdul Kalam, that was his full name, was an aerospace scientist who served as the 11th President of India from 2002 to 2007. He was born on 15th October 1931 in Dhanushkodi, Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu. He completed his Bachelor's in Engineering from St. Joseph's College, Tiruchirappalli, and his Master's in Engineering from Madras Institute of Technology. Dr. Kalam was successful in developing the Satellite Launch Vehicle PSLV and SLV-3 projects. Kalam was appointed as the Chief Executive by the then Defence Minister R. Venkatraman of a project which worked on development of a quiver of missiles. He developed many missiles including Agni and Prithvi. Abdul Kalam served as the Chief Scientific Advisor to the Prime Minister, and he served as the Chief Project Coordinator of the Pokhran-2 nuclear tests. His contribution in the nuclear power projects in India earned him the title Missile Man of India and made him the recipient of the highest award, Bharat Ratna, and also the Padma Bhushan, the Padma Vibhushan, Hoover Medal, and many more awards. He is also the author of many books like Wings of Fire, Ignited Minds, India 2020, etc. On 27th July 2015, Dr. Kalam was delivering a lecture at IIM Shillong, where he suffered a heart attack and passed away. He is a great inspiration to the youth on whom he had great hopes. Dear children, I hope you got an idea of how to describe a person. I took this example of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam because in your syllabus you have a lesson, his childhood, which talks about the way Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was brought up with great values and without any discrimination, and how he was taught and how his family was an example of religious unity and harmony. So, you will be reading that lesson also. When you read that lesson, maybe you will get more points, and I would request you to describe this personality again after reading that chapter and noting down the important points, like I told you, to make key points while you are reading, and also to note down the themes and topics of the lesson. So this chapter talks about the qualities which Dr. Abdul Kalam possessed, and also the qualities which he inherited from his parents, because his parents were a great role model for him. So I would request you to read the chapter also. We will also be discussing the chapter here, and to rewrite this description about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. In the same way, the prose chapters which we have already completed. For example, you had learnt about Evelyn Glennie, okay, and Ustad Bismillah Khan. These two great personalities who have contributed in the field of music, and Ustad Bismillah Khan also was the recipient of the highest award, Bharat Ratna. So I would request you, since we have completed that chapter and understood and try to make the key points of the chapter also. So initially you can describe Evelyn Glennie and also Ustad Bismillah Khan. And then also you can try to write something about the great freedom fighters, describe them. You could describe our Prime Minister, our President, right? And also the great personalities, leaders who are contributing in the different fields and helping in the development of the country. You can also describe the sports personalities. Many of you are interested in sports, and all of you might be having some sports personality as your role model, or maybe you like to watch them playing, or maybe their life is an inspiration to you, who are greatly achieving success and are making India proud. So to begin with, you can start describing the personalities in your textbook, and then slowly you can also collect information. Dear children, I told you, in order to write a good paragraph, it is very important for you to collect a lot of information. Read a lot. Collect the information. Maybe the first time you try to write, you are not able to write a perfect paragraph. Fine. You will learn slowly and your writing will become perfect if you practice writing more and more. So, gathering information, collecting information through different sources, like reading newspapers, watching English news, and also surfing on the net and jotting down important points or information regarding different personalities. Okay, of course, you have to update yourselves with the current happenings. Who are the great personalities of the current time? Of course, we should be aware of the contribution of the great freedom fighters and the great leaders who have contributed and who are no more in this world. Of course, we need to know about them because they inspire us a lot. That is why many a time you are asked to write about the great leaders who are not there in this world also. But at the same time, you need to update yourself with the current happenings. What is the government doing? What are the achievements of our Prime Minister and the great leaders and those nation builders, right? And your role model could be members of your own family also. So you can also practice describing them. Your mother, your father, your elder brother or sister, your aunt, your uncle, your grandparents. It could be anybody. So initially you can begin with describing them also. At the same time, you must be aware of all the initiatives of the government, the different programs, so that you are able to describe the different events also. Because next we'll try to look at how to describe an event. So until and unless you are aware of what is happening around you, what is happening throughout the world, what are the various policies and programs being launched by the government, and what is the role of the people, what is the role of the youth, how are you participating in all these programs. So that will help you greatly in describing any event that is happening around you, in your family, in the society, and also in your school. So now let's try to look at how we are going to describe an event. In fact, I'll ask you to write the question which I have for you. Of course, we will discuss with the help of the clues how you are going to describe that particular event. Now, describing an event. Please look at the question that is there on your screen. Your school recently celebrated Van Mahotsav. The students and teachers actively participated in the various programs organized on the occasion. Write a paragraph describing the event with the help of the clues given below. Now, we all know that Van Mahotsav is celebrated every year in the month of July. The whole month, lot of activities are organized by the Department of Environment and Forests, and also the schools organize various programs, various competitions. You all might have also participated in so many competitions: essay writing, education competition, painting competition, slogan writing competition, and also rallies are organized in which you people actively participate, and you also take part in lot of tree plantation programs. So this is a great festival of India, which is an initiative to protect the forests of our country and also to make India clean and green. So this topic is very common, and since you celebrate Van Mahotsav every year in your school, so it will be easy for you to describe this event in your own words. Now let's look at the clues. Van Mahotsav, festival of trees, tree planting, teachers and students planted saplings, various competitions organized, chief guest planted saplings in the school campus and addressed the gathering. Then prize distribution. So these are the clues for you. Now with the help of these clues, you have to write about the Van Mahotsav celebration in your school. So let's see how we can write this. Now when you want to write this descriptive paragraph describing an event, okay, so any paragraph, and especially when I told you when you describe a place, so you begin with the name of the place and its location, and then slowly you move towards describing the beauty of that place, and then again you conclude the paragraph. And when we try to describe a person, so we began by describing that person's physical appearance, we began with his date of birth, place of birth, and slowly about their education and then their contribution, okay, and then we try to conclude. Now when you want to describe any event, as I had told you before also, what are the important points you need to mention? That is when, where, what, who, right, which, okay. So you need to remember all these WH questions, right? All these questions begin with WH. So you have to describe all these things. You need to ask these questions to yourself. When was the program organized? That means it is the date, or maybe the period. You can write in the month of July, or from 1st July to 15th July, or from 1st July to 31st July, right? Or you can also use like recently our school celebrated. So that means most of the time if you are celebrating any national day, for example, National Sports Day, so it is celebrated on 29th August every year. So you can begin by the date itself, like National Sports Day was celebrated in our school on the 29th of August 2019 or 2020, whenever you are writing the paragraph, and then you can begin. So date is very important, when, and then the place where the event took place, and then the time, okay. So place, or you can even say venue, okay. Date, place and time you need to mention. And then what was the program actually, what happened, right? What were the various programs organized during the 1 Mahotsav celebration? So you can mention about the different programs that were organized as part of 1 Mahotsav. Then who means who were the participants, right? Who all participated? If it is celebrated in your school, then it is the teachers and the students, and sometimes your parents are also involved in many of the programs, and also you have a chief guest and other guests, okay. These days if you have any program in your school or any event is happening, so you might have noticed that the members of the school management committee, they are invited, the office bearers of the school. Many of your parents might be the members and office bearers of the school management committee. So they are there, and many a times the ward councillor of your area, you invite the ward councillor also, and many a times you also have people from the education department as guests, right, for various events. So there are guests also attending your events, so you need to mention that also. So I think it is clear to you now how we are going to describe an event. Now when you want to describe an event or any descriptive paragraph, I told you the format is nothing but you write the heading and then you write in a sequence. So you can write One Mahotsav celebration, right? This is the heading, and every paragraph, the sequence has to be, every paragraph has a beginning, and then it has got the middle part, that is the supporting sentences, and then you have conclusion. Right? So, you need to begin the paragraph in an impressive way, and maybe you can also, I had told you before also, you can begin also with a quote. Trees are our best friends. Therefore, we need to protect them, we need to conserve them. So, any proverb or any small quote related to trees. And then you can begin, or you can also begin by saying every year Van Mahotsav is celebrated in the month of July by the Department of Environment and Forest. Then you can say it is a great festival for the people of India, the festival of trees. Okay, so the beginning, or you say the topic sentence. So you can also begin Van Mahotsav was celebrated in our school from 1st July to 17th July, or you can also write Van Mahotsav was celebrated in the first week of July in our school in a befitting manner, right? Or you can also add to that Van Mahotsav was celebrated in our school from this date to this date, or in the first week of July, or in the month of July, okay, to create awareness among the students about protecting the trees and making the place clean and green. Our school had organized various programs on this occasion. Okay, and all the students actively took part in the program. Then you can mention about the programs. An essay writing competition was organized on the topic trees are best friends for the students of class 6 to 8, right? And then an elocution competition was organized for the students of maybe 9th and 10th on the topic protecting our trees, protecting our forests, the need of the hour. And then there was also a painting competition for the students of class 11th and 12th on the topic Save Mother Earth. So you mention in detail what were the competitions and for which category of students the competitions were organized. Okay, and then we also had a slogan writing competition, and the students were asked to write slogans on the importance of trees and protecting our environment. So lot of creative slogans were written by the students, and we also had a rally to mark the day, that is the Van Mahotsav celebration. Our principal of this or the principal of the school or our principal led the rally, and all the students were carrying the slogans written on placards, and they were also shouting slogans to create awareness among the people, and they participated in the rally. So this was an initiative to create awareness among the people about the importance of trees. On the concluding day, the chief guest was none other than the Member of Parliament of the islands. Okay, or you can also write the Director of Education or the Deputy Director of Education was the chief guest, or you can write the Ward Councillor. Okay, you can mention about the Ward Councillor of your area was the chief guest, and the best essays and the best speeches and the best paintings were awarded, and the three best speakers or the winners of the first three prizes spoke on the occasion on the prize distribution day, and the principal also addressed the gathering, and he encouraged the students to keep the school clean and green. All the children planted saplings in the school campus, class wise you can say, right? Of course, everybody cannot plant trees, so you can say class wise we planted 3 trees or maybe 2 trees in the school campus and around the school campus, and we were given responsibility of taking care of the trees also. Because it's not only enough for you to plant trees, you need to take care of them also. And then you can say the chief guest addressed the gathering, and after that in the end you can write the chief guest gave away the prizes to the winners. I too received the first prize in the essay competition, or the first prize in the elocution competition, or the painting competition. So it was a proud moment for us to receive the prizes from the chief guest. And the program came to an end with sweet distribution or with refreshments. Okay, maybe you can end that way. So I hope you got an idea of how to describe a particular event. So I will give you 3 topics for you to practice at home. The first one would be Swachh Bharat Abhiyan campaign or the Swachh Vidyalaya campaign. You can write as part of Gandhi Jayanti celebration, as part of 150th year of Gandhiji's birthday, a cleanliness campaign was organized. Okay, so one topic could be Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. And then the second would be Jal Shakti Abhiyan. You all know that various competitions and programs were organized in the school on the occasion of or on this initiative of government, the Jal Shakti Abhiyan, where again a tree plantation was also a part of the program. Then Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat. Many programs were organized as part of this, and this year our pairing state was Lakshadweep. So we witnessed lot of programs on the culture and tradition of the pairing state and our own islands. So you can describe any particular event, and also lot of yoga and sports activities were organized, so you can describe that also on the occasion of International Yoga Day. And also you can write about the way sports and games activities in your school. So these are some of the topics which you can practice writing, and we will also be discussing more about paragraph writing in future also in the other classes. Until then, take care, stay safe, stay at home.